Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, daily news, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what is going on in the United States, and what is going on with the next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package yet to date. We got a lot going on here in the United States as the House of Representatives has passed an initial vote of 220 yeses, all Democrats, and 212 noes, all Republicans, to pass a motion to proceed on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which basically sets up the budget reconciliation process, which basically means they were moving forward with the stimulus package in the House of Representatives. So, what this means is that they're moving forward with the stimulus package first instead of the physical infrastructure package second. So they're moving forward with the stimulus package first instead of the physical infrastructure package first. So this is actually really good news because this is what they were fighting over. And they are now moving forward with the stimulus package in the House of Representatives. So that's what the vote was on yesterday. And they are now crafting the bill. Senator Bernie Sanders says that they have a large portion of the bill already written because they have subcommittees, basically dozens and dozens and dozens of um, basically staff that write these bills. Okay. So they are now putting together the draft of the bill. And then they're going to be moving forward with negotiations and the voting process, the big vote of the House of Representatives. So we got a lot to cover here in this video, what's going on in the United States and what's going on with the rest of the process here of the $3.5 trillion package. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on in our country. Stimulus package and the infrastructure package on the verge of being passed here sometime in the near future. We're not exactly sure when, but they're very, very close with the physical infrastructure package being passed in the Senate and now waiting for the stimulus package first to be passed in the House. All of the indexes in the stock market have all seen all-time highs here recently. And really, stocks are just on an entire run. Everybody pretty much with owning stocks or in stock indexes has seen a nice run in the stock market. Now, going forward with the next stimulus package, the next step for this $3.5 trillion stimulus package will kind of be the negotiations still with the Democrats. Remember, the Democrats are going to pass this next stimulus package and put together the bill. Now, remember, a large portion of this bill has already been written in the background, and they're going to be putting it together. But remember, they got to get all the votes. And this is really where it's going to get a little bit tricky. They're going to be bringing forth the bill, but then when they bring forth the bill, we're going to get a lot of them as they go to look for it. They're going to be like, I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh, I think this item should be added. Oh, I think that item should be added. Oh, I think this should be a little bit more. That should be a little bit more. And I say all this, that, and the other thing because, well, I don't really know what each particular senator or House representative, 220 Democrats in the House, 50 Democrats in the Senate, what exactly their opinions are going to be. What should be more? What should be less when we talk about money for the people in the form of tax credits, which are really checks. I mean, think about, I think we all kind of know, I think we're all a little bit more comfortable with the term tax credit. Remember, a stimulus check is a tax credit. Okay. You don't even need to file taxes to get a tax credit necessarily. Okay. Remember, a stimulus check, the official IRS name for a stimulus check is advanced refundable tax credit. You don't need to even be a tax filer to get a stimulus check. They send it to you in advance. As soon as they pass the bill, they send it out to you. Now, whether there's going to be a forced stimulus check in there, whether it's going to be a tax credit, whether there's going to be an adult tax credit, which they said is going to be in this next package, whether there's going to be an extension of the child tax credit, which they said is also going to be in this next package. But remember, they got to pass the bill, and everything is up for negotiation. And that is where we're going to see here coming up next as they craft this bill and all these Democrats put forward their opinions and their ideas of what should be in this bill, how much should be in this bill, and we get these moderates and these Democrats playing tug of war of, oh, I think there should be more of this in this bill, or I think there should be more money for this type of check, child tax credit checks. I think there should be more money for adults in this next package. I think there should be more benefits for seniors with the Medicare benefits in this package. I think there should be a raise for Social Security benefits in this next package. And that's where really this list, the famous list here, is kind of the all encompassing list of everything that is going to be in this next package. Because this list pretty much encompasses everything. I don't know if I've left anything off here, but this list pretty much encompasses everything on here. I think the 4 items in green that they've passed recently are, it's actually pretty awesome because they've passed that without the stimulus package early, and they don't have to spend money on those 4 items. They've passed those items before the stimulus package, and they don't have to use the money from the stimulus package. They kind of save that money for the stimulus package. So they have more money in the stimulus package for all these 25 or 26 items in the stimulus package. So if you kind of get where I'm saying there, I think that's kind of a little bit hard to say there, but there's more money for the stimulus package because they passed those 4 items there. The eviction moratorium didn't really cost money. It's just kind of a piece of paper that says, hey, you can't evict anybody. But items number 2, 3, and 4, well, item number two did kind of cost money because, I don't know, maybe that's up for debate because there is a pause on student loan payments. I don't know, that's up for debate. But item number 3 is there is $8.8 billion there. Item number 4, I don't know how many billions of dollars there, but that is a 25% permanent increase. It's a permanent increase on SNAP. And the average person is going to get like $435 per year. I know some people are getting a lot less, some people are getting more. So again, I can only go with the averages there because again, I understand some people are only getting like $60 a year, but some people are getting more per year. So again, it is what it is. But all the other things are really, who knows what's going to really be in there when all is said and done. Remember on the second stimulus check package, they added that stimulus check in there after the bill was written. Remember, they actually wrote that second stimulus check bill, and I was like, oh man, there's not a stimulus check in there. And then for some reason, they wrote the bill, and then after that, we had Senator Bernie Sanders and Republican Senator Josh Hawley kind of come in and save the day and said, no, we can't do this. We have to change the bill and add a stimulus check in there. And that's when they kind of stepped in and said, yeah, you're right. What were we thinking? How can we write this bill without a stimulus check in there? And we're like, hello, that's what we've been saying this whole time. Yeah. So I don't know what were they thinking, but luckily we had Senator Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley step in there, and they're like, but at the time, remember the Republicans controlled 2 out of the 3. They controlled the Senate and the presidency. So if you remember the time, Republicans were insistent on not spending more than $1 trillion. Okay, so they're like, yeah, we're okay with a stimulus check, I guess, at the very last moment because everything was changing rapidly. Remember, things change rapidly sometimes. Things have been going crazy around here lately. It's just I have so many stories to talk about. I can't even fit them all in here at my daily shows. I have to pick and choose which stories to talk about. And that's why sometimes if you see the theme of the shows, sometimes it's about completely different themes. Sometimes it's about, hey, this time we'll cover daily cases are going crazy and the whole country's on fire. And sometimes we don't even talk about that for 2 or 3 days. Okay, so it's just like, yeah, I mean, that was the theme of our show today. But sometimes it's just completely, sometimes it's Afghanistan and the crazy situation over there. Sometimes it's just, hey, the vote passed today and breaking news with that. So, yeah, there's just so much crazy stuff going on with our country today. It's insane. I have so many news stories that I can't even cover because it's just a lot going on right now. But the one thing we do know is that this next stimulus package is going to be the largest stimulus package yet to date. Nancy Pelosi has recently said that they are going to stick to the top line number of $3.5 trillion. Remember, we have some moderate Democrats, 2 of them in the Senate, Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, that said they don't want it to be $3.5 trillion. They want it to be a little bit less. We have a couple Democrats in the House of Representatives that's saying they don't want it to be $3.5 trillion. They want it to be a little bit less. But we have a lot of progressive Democrats in both the House and the Senate that want it to be more. Okay, so just because we have one or two Democrats in the Senate and a few Democrats in the House that are saying that, on the other side of the coin, we have more Democrats. Remember, there's like 100 Democrats in the Democratic Progressive Caucus that want it to be more than $3.5 trillion. So again, just because I get comments from sometimes that say Kirsten Sinema says that she doesn't want it to be $3.5 trillion. She wants it to be less, and she's not sure if she's going to vote for it. This is all part of the negotiation phase. Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema are just kind of notorious for this, and sometimes they kick and scream, like a little baby sometimes. Um, and it is what it is. But ultimately, they both voted for the third stimulus check package. All the Democrats in the House did, except for one last time around from the third stimulus check package. And they all voted, both from the House and the Senate, with the initial vote motion to proceed. Okay. So they're all on the same page here. And when it all comes down to it, there might be a little bit of negotiations. Okay. And they might need to negotiate a little bit, but this is all part of the process. Okay. So just because Kirsten Sinema, Joe Manchin, or a couple Democrats from the House, just like we've seen here on Monday and Tuesday, saying, well, they're not sure if they're going to vote for it. What did they do? They negotiated and they got their votes and they went forward and said, okay, they are going to move forward with the stimulus package first and then the infrastructure package second. So I always get some comments to some people freaking out because they're not going to vote for it. Okay, it's just part of the process, just part of the negotiation phase. Even with just the Democrats alone, I always say, imagine getting 220 people in one room and getting them all to agree. Now imagine if they had to agree with the Republicans and the Democrats, how much harder it would be. Somehow they actually got the infrastructure package passed in the Senate with Republicans and Democrats, believe it or not. So, yeah. But I'll keep you up to date with everything going on with this next stimulus package, with the infrastructure package, what's going on with our country, what's going on with this, and what's going on in Washington, D.C. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe down below. New videos. Thanks, guys, and we will see you in the next video. In the next video. In the